Now, what's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming. I am considerably less sick at the moment, just slight cough, slight cold, so I'm considerably feeling better and I'm looking forward to getting back to making loads and loads of videos. There's so much to talk about. I'm only going to touch on like one of those topics right now, and even at that point, I'm just barely going to touch on it. So we all know Oculus Rift and Facebook, as basically because they own Oculus Rift, we all know that they've come out and announced pre-orders for the Oculus Rift. They will ship between March and May of this year, and the pre-order scheme that went open had no money down, no pre-order, or basically it was a pre-order with no financial outlay and no financial pressure right at the start. You pay nothing until it ships. The usual kind of, the usual in those kind of situations. Now, where it did come back and start biting people in the ass and doing all that kind of weird shit was that Palmer Luckey, I think his name is Palmer Luckey. I never. It's been so long since I've seen him in like a video interview, or I remember watching the Oculus Rift presentation like 6 months ago and I just completely forgot about it. But Palmer Luckey, anyway, a guy who's on the front of Time magazine for the stupidest looking virtual reality promo ever. But he'd come out and announced all the details and all that as well, including for the pre-order that the Oculus Rift, the final Oculus Rift model, was going to cost €600, or well, $600, but that translated to €600 or £500, which wasn't an exact translation, but it was going to come out to £500, which was also, say, €600. So that's a lot of money, especially considering the fact that they mainly kind of were aiming for a $350 ballpark. That they've said that it would most likely be slightly more expensive, but they kept throwing around the $350 number, which is part of my big concern now in a minute. So he'd always said that you're looking for overall total around the $1,500 outlay for your Oculus Rift, plus a machine that would run the Oculus Rift at its like recommended spec, which was I think it was an i5, a 4th generation i5, something like 8 gig RAM, obviously USB 3.0 ports. I think there was a HDMI port required, and a GTX 970. So it's understandable. That's a decent chunk of change. Like when you look at that processor and that GPU, as well as just all of the standard bits and bobs that would go with it, viable RAM, viable motherboard, case, etc. Operating system, assume you're paying for the OS and all that as well. You're combined with the Oculus Rift, $1,500 wasn't too bad. Now the problem is, if you put 600 of that into the Oculus Rift headset itself, you're left with 900 to get that kind of stuff. Not really going to work too well. I mean, you might scrape by, but you might have to make some concessions elsewhere just for the sake of, just for the sake of making the Oculus and all appear in that exact that exact money frame, if you will. So that's a whole other issue and ball game about that, as well as one thing. He went on Reddit and he didn't ask me anything in Reddit as well. He answered, I didn't read them all, but he answered a lot of questions, and one of the main ones I noticed was that even while using the $350 example the whole time, he says they had internal estimates that it was going to cost upwards and close to $600, which, as we know, it eventually did, or well, basically does. So despite them throwing around the 350 the entire time, while they wanted to make a 350 ball, I realize it's marketing, so it's all marketing in the sense that he could they could say that, drum up advertisement and drum up interest in it, and then that was a whole other thing, and that ended up being what it was. So the reason I ranted about all that a bit too much, but it was just a bit of a backstory anyway. The reason why I got in touch and just started making all that little bit of backwards info and just doing all that myself was that, am I going to buy an Oculus Rift? Now, I was originally going to buy an Oculus Rift. I really wanted to buy an Oculus Rift. I wasn't going to buy it at launch, most likely. I wanted to wait until a game called Allison Road came out. I've made several videos about it in the past, and you can go check any of them out. And there's like a 15-minute Allison Road presentation on YouTube, which you can easily find anywhere on there as well. So you can find out a bit about Allison Road all over YouTube and videos, whatever. And I was going to wait. That's due to come out at the end of this year, at the end of 2016. I think they were aiming for a December 2016 release window. And having said that, if that was supposed to come out in around then, that was going to be the game that was going to at least make me, at the time, buy an Oculus Rift. And like I said, I most likely wasn't going to get the Oculus Rift now, or let's just say March, April, May, any time between then, and just like have it idle for 6 months. Even though when the new computer is finished, it will be way, way more powerful enough to do anything an Oculus Rift can do. That's not the point anyway. So now that the fact that the price is gone, we'll call it gone up, will I buy an Oculus Rift? For $600 and the limited use, or €600 and the limited use that I would probably get from it, I don't think I will. Now, I'm not saying no. For the simple reason is, I right now I have no plans to buy it, even for Allison Road. I can't really, like, I spend stupid amounts of money on stuff anyway, and I can't justify €600 on an accessory to play one game. At the moment, maybe it'll come down in price. Maybe there'll be plenty of other games that will be announced for Oculus Rift and that I actually want and that look really good and that will entice me to buy it. That's entirely possible. I'm not discounting that at all. I'm probably waiting for that to happen to make me buy an Oculus Rift, if anything. But as it stands, I'm not going to buy it just for Allison Road because it's too much of an outlay. It's not the money. It's not the money. Like, I'm not going to be hurting on money. I'm literally just... I don't think it's a viable alternative for me. That might change. Who knows? There's so much that we don't know. I can't see the future, unfortunately. Otherwise, lottery numbers would be my best friend. But yeah, that's how that is anyway. So we'll see how it goes. There's plenty of time between now and when the Oculus Rift actually ships. There's plenty of time between now and when Allison Road potentially ships, if it does. So there's whatever's announced in between there, price cuts, technical improvements, whatever. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens over the course of whatever amount of months anyway. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about the whole Oculus Rift situation, with how it was handled, what you think of the price of it, all that as well. Let me also know if you're going to think about getting one, or why you're going to think about getting one. Like, are you getting it for Allison Road as well? Are you getting it for whatever you want, like general productivity, or would it be more productive for you? I don't know. You let me know all that in the comments section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel, while it feels so good to be back, because I just absolutely love that I can get back to making these videos.